South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal... We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here from the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas, and the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show, welcoming also all of our listeners at our anchor radio station here in Las Vegas, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM, and then all of our websites that stream us, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. iPhone, Android, and Google phones, of course, are taken care of with the apps, KSHP app and the YouTube app, and, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. And we have a ton of places that our podcasting shows up on, and I guess they use this as a podcast, whatever. However, wherever, whenever, welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Thursday as we continue now and build up to Saturday's big Belmont Stakes Day at Saratoga. It is the Belmont Festival of Racing that's going on in upstate New York at Saratoga Racecourse. And the weather was beautiful yesterday. Had a lot of great state-bred stakes races yesterday. Jonathan Hardun tells us it was a little bit hot there for Saratoga, but nevertheless, his horse, by the way, Amos Gold, who finished second in the stakes race, really ran a gallant race. Not only did he set the pace in the race, but he was passed by the favorite and came back and fought before the favorite inched away. Big, solid second there for Hardun's horse, so we congratulate him on that, and his horse that showed a lot of fight in that stakes race yesterday at Saratoga. We'll get to the results of those races in just a minute. Just wanted to keep you updated on what's going on as far as weather concerns in Saratoga Springs. Now, you know that when you get to Saratoga Springs, it's always, if you don't like the weather, wait around 10 minutes, it'll change. But we do have to try to put some sense of prediction on it with the National Weather Forecast. And so the National Weather Forecast for today, because we have 4 nice stakes races today at Saratoga, a grade 2 and a grade 3 and 2 other stakes races on the card. And we're going to get to those in a minute, too, with Jonathan Hardun. They say it's mostly sunny. A stray of showers or thunderstorms is possible. The high is going to be 89 degrees. The winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So if it's 89 there, there's going to be a little bit of humidity. Now, when you get to tonight, after the races are over tonight, they say it's going to get cloudy this evening with showers and 66 degrees. And then overnight and by tomorrow morning, Friday morning, the day of the Acorn, and another 8 stakes races at Saratoga that include 5 grade 1s. Another 6 stakes races. The 8 is on Saturday. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Tomorrow, 6 Saratoga stakes races, more over the 4 today. There's going to be 4 grade 1s tomorrow, however, and 2 grade 2s, and one of the grade 1s is the Breeders' Cup Win and You're In. That happens tomorrow. Now, what they say overnight, by tomorrow morning, it's going to be about 64 degrees. They're going to top out at 76 degrees, scattered thunderstorms, 54% chance of scattered thunderstorms, and the wind is going to be east at 6 miles per hour. That leads us to Saturday Belmont Stakes Day. On Saturday Belmont Stakes Day, the updated forecast weather by the Weather Channel says on Saturday there's going to be more scattered thunderstorms. Going to top out at 75 degrees, overnight 53. From the 54% of scattered thunderstorms expected tomorrow, it drops down to 40% on Saturday, with the winds west-northwest at 8 miles per hour. That's the predictions. Now, we all know that the weatherman, with all of the tools that they have in handicapping the weather, and forecasting the winner is like handicappers that we have that have all of their tools at hand to handicap the races. Sometimes they could be wrong. And so let's hope for our sake and racing's sake that the weatherman is just a little bit wrong this time, and maybe those scattered thunderstorms will make their way around the Saratoga racecourse. We'll wait and see, but it's going to be nice today. And so we'll look at today's racing as well. All right? Now we're talking about the horses that are going to be in the Belmont Stakes. The three big ones are there. Journalism, Sovereignty, Baeza. The first three finishers in the Kentucky Derby and the winner also of the Preakness Stakes. And so it's going to be, and by the way, we're talking about if it's going to be an off track at Saratoga for the Belmont, just remember, it was the same way. There was a lot of rain and off going there at Churchill Downs for the Kentucky Derby when these three ran 1, 2, 3. And of course, the Preakness, there was scattered showers all around the Preakness. It was run on somewhat of an off track when Journalism won. So this is not new to the top three. Of course, there are a few horses in the race that are also there that hadn't participated in either one of the first two Triple Crown races that do run well on an off track, and we'll get to that handicapping, obviously, on Saturday as well. So that's just about the way it looks right now. As far as other horses that have competed in the Triple Crown races, Gosker, who finished second in that miraculous win by Journalism in the Preakness Stakes. Obviously, he's not in the Belmont Stakes, but he's back working on the racetrack, and now they're pointing towards the Haskell at Monmouth Park, and that'll happen on the 19th of July. So Gosker's on his way to the Haskell. And there are quite a few horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby that stayed up at Churchill Downs, I should say. And they'll be racing next in the Matt Winn coming up on Stephen Foster weekend. So we're keeping a track on those horses there. And, of course, the West Coast horses, Rodriguez out for the Belmont. And, of course, Citizen Bull, he'll be out for the Woody Stevens, etc. So we're keeping an eye on those horses. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday at Saratoga. All right, yesterday at Saratoga, the first of their stakes races yesterday was remember, it was the New York Statebred Stakes Race day of it was the New York Showcase day of racing for New York Statebreds. The first New York Statebred Stakes race was the Mike Lee. That was the second race on the card. The winner there was Train the Trainer with Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard for Rob Atras. Train the Trainer was the selection on this show by Dwayne Colucci yesterday. So Dwayne got us off the bat in good shape. Train the Trainer paid $5.90, bet down from 3 to 1. Soon to be King was second in the race, and Prince Valiant finished third. That was Jerry J's pick, Prince Valiant there. So Soon to be King split the Siraco exacta box there. All right, then we get to the commentator stakes. There's the race that Jonathan Hardun's horse, Mama's Gold, was in. And if you watch the race, Mama's Gold went right out to the lead, as expected. And Mama's Gold was moving along quite in a very good pace throughout the race. Top of the stretch, the favorite, Bank Frenzy, came to him. And then these two kind of fought it out through the stretch. Bank Frenzy got in front. Then Mama's Gold dug in from the rail and came back and got the lead again. But in the final strides, Bank Frenzy did wear down Mama's Gold in a gutty effort. And Bank Frenzy, Manny Franco aboard for Rudy Rodriguez, paid $4.90 as the favorite. Mama's Gold was a gallant second, and Rosie's Pepino finished third in that one. Jockey John Velasquez had a couple of wins yesterday. Velasquez upset the apple cart in the fifth race with a big long shot. Outsource went wire to wire. No, Outsource came from behind, I should say. Outsource came from behind and just nailed the front runner at the finish of that turf race. And Outsource paid $115.50 for a $2 win bet. John Velasquez on a 55-1 shot. Think about that for trainer Tom Morley. I say that because that was just a regular allowance race yesterday, but it led to a huge pick 5 payoff. The Bowery Stakes was the 6th on the card. The winner there was K-Cup for Jorge Abreu and Ired Ortiz Jr. Ired was getting his second win of the day. Remember, he won the Mike Lee with Train the Trainer. So Ired took 2 of the first 3 stakes races yesterday at Saratoga and paid $4.80, outrunning Charlotte's Heart and Bernie and the Rose. Then we got to the Kingston Stakes. That was the 7th on the card. Clear Conscious wins that for Jose Ortiz. And trainer Mark Cassie paying $22.60, outrunning Hush of a Storm. And It's All Coming Together, who finished 3rd in that one. And then the 8th race, the Critical Eye Stakes. The winner there was Bernie Takes Charge. Bernie Takes Charge took charge and won for Romero Marat and Dominic Chatino, paying $20 even, outrunning Sterling Silver and Racing Colors. The combination of those 5 winners, $4.90, $115.50, $4.80, $22.60, and $20 even, produced a 50-cent pick 5 payoff at Saratoga yesterday of $213,590 for the 50-cent play. The Mount Vernon was the last of the State-Bred Stakes races. It was the 9th yesterday at Saratoga. The winner there is Spinning Colors. Spinning Colors, John Velasquez's second win of the day for Mark Hennig, paid $16.20. Finishing second was Silver Skillet. Finishing third was Awesome Checks. And all I can say in that race was Velasquez did a great job of nursing this horse on the lead without anybody contesting him. Got to the half in 50 and 33/100 seconds in a stakes race. You ain't going to beat them from there, and they didn't. Nice work by John Velasquez in that race, as well as the big long shot earlier in the card. And the most emotional, I think, race of the day came in the 10th and final when Coach Case won in a driving finish with Dylan Davis aboard, paying $7.10. That was the first win for trainer Miguel Clement. Miguel Clement, of course, his first training victory, taking over for his father, Christophe Clement, that passed away 10 days earlier. It was an emotional win in the winner's circle and afterwards by the family and everybody involved there, and even people in the stands congratulating Miguel on that first win of his career yesterday, and a bittersweet win, I know that's for sure. So we congratulate him there as well, and we know that Christophe had a lot to do with that stretch run for the win there. All right, the pick 6, it wasn't had, obviously. Nobody had 6, but guess what? Nobody had 5 either. 4 out of 5 in the pick 6 paid $128.50. So you got a pick 6 carryover today for day 2 of the Belmont Racing Festival at Saratoga. Quickly at Churchill Downs, Dwayne Carlucci almost had a big day for us. His horse ran second. His pick at Churchill Downs ran second at 8-1 odds and paid $6.98 to place. The winner there paid $7.20. Hey, some trainers that were based in Southern California with their horses, now they got a stable at Churchill Downs, won races yesterday. Phil D'Amato came with a winner with Christian Torres at $4.60 in the 3rd race. Peter Urton with Sophie Doyle won the 5th race at paying $4.78. So the Western trainers' horses are getting respect there at the pari-mutuel windows there at Churchill. And by the way, Bill Mott had a winner as well. His horse paid $3.98, so it was pretty close to the vest yesterday at Churchill Downs. All right, that's what happened yesterday. We know what the weather's about today at Saratoga, at least what the predictions say. But we have a big racing day as well at Saratoga today. And so without any further ado, we're going to go to our first break. And when we come back, you'll get your racing menu for today. We'll get Jonathan Hardun, Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry J involved as well on this almost Friday, Thursday race day show as we continue celebrating Belmont Festival Week at Saratoga as they continue to work out in the mornings around the country. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie, Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Quickly, the weather here is just beautiful out. It's 79 degrees right now. We're going to get up to 90 degrees, but we are in that monsoon type of weather pattern as well at this time of the year. If you get it's too hot in the daytime, then in the afternoon the clouds start forming and we get these thunderstorms and these pockets of real heavy rain. And so we are under those conditions again today, but right now it's beautiful out there with the sun shining at 79. And, of course, we're going to get to 90 degrees today. As far as the rest of the country is concerned, outside of Saratoga Springs, you got Miami at 85, New York City, 87 degrees, partly cloudy there. Chicago, 72. Southern California, 75 degrees. Now, L.A., of course, doesn't have any racing at Santa Anita today, but be reminded they're going to pick up a Thursday racing card next week. So 1 week from today, there will be racing at Santa Anita, as well as the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Phoenix, Arizona is going to pop up to 100 degrees today. And, of course, as I say, we're going to get to about 90 today in Las Vegas. As far as precipitation is concerned, a lot of action happening right in the mid-Atlantic area of the East Coast, and scattered showers here and there just around the country. But it shouldn't affect too much of the racing centers on the racing menu. So we'll get started with your racing menu now, reminding you the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here in Las Vegas playing the races in the book here, these will be the first post times that roll out in the books. Otherwise, adjust to the Pacific time zone wherever you're at so you don't miss anything like I'm his mom and dad, okay? All right, we begin our racing menu then with Valterra Park. Valterra Park has 8 races. Their first post time is at 9:35. 9:35 at Valterra today. Okay, next up comes Delaware Park. They have 8 races at Delaware Park, and their first post time at Delaware Park today is set at 9:35. Saratoga, upstate New York. You know about the weather up there. 4 stakes races today. The first race is the first of the 4 stakes races today. Saratoga's Tremont Stakes for 2-year-olds at 5.5 furlongs sees a short field of 5 in that. That's the first stakes race. The Astoria for 2-year-old fillies will be the third race on the card, where 6 go in that. This is before scratches now. And then later on in the card, the 2 other stakes races. The 7th race will be the Intercontinental. This on the Mellon Turf Course, where 10 will go to the post there. And then the 9th race will be the Poker at a mile on the Inner Turf Course for 4-year-olds and up, where 10 are entered there. 10 races overall today at Saratoga. And as you know, there is a carryover in the Pick 6. It's a regular Pick 6 carryover. $55,493. $55,493 in the Pick 6 carryover. First post time at Saratoga today is set at 9:40. 9:40 at Saratoga. Gulfstream Park. Their Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot carryover stands at $18,470. They have 9 races. First post time is at 9:50. Horseshoe Indianapolis has 9 races. The last race will be a quarter horse race, and the first 9 will be thoroughbreds. First post time at Horseshoe Indianapolis is set at 11:10. 11:10 at Horseshoe Indianapolis today. Woodbine Racecourse. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $4,235. Their Super High 5 jackpot carryover, $5,458. 7 races in the first post time of 12 high noon. Then we have Hawthorne Racecourse. They got a regular pick 5 carryover at Hawthorne, $3,634. Regular pick 5 carryover there at Hawthorne. Again, the pick 5 there, $3,634. 7 races today. First post time is at 12:40. Churchill Downs has their Thursday twilight program going on there. Their first post time at Churchill Downs on the Pacific time zone is at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, first post at Churchill Downs. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover now stands at $418,312. 8 races today at Churchill. First post time is at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, first post Pacific time today. Then we have Penn National. Penn National has 7 races today, and Penn Nat's first post time is at 2:45. 2:45 at Penn National. Following that is Evangeline Downs. Evangeline Downs has 8 races. First post time is at 3:30 at Evangeline. And then we wrap it up with Charlestown, where they have a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $23,581. And their first post time at Charlestown for 8 races set at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock today at Charlestown. That's your racing menu for today. Now we go up to Saratoga Springs, where Jonathan Hardun is standing by. Congratulations, Jonathan, on Mama's Gold. What are you shaking your head for? Horse did all the work.
No, I'm happy, Ralph. The horse ran his eyeballs out.
That's
He was
right.
terrific. He would have packed it in. Very proud. No complaints.
Don't shake your head. He did all the work.
He did. Ralph, I got to tell you, it was so hot here yesterday, and it looks like it's headed for the same thing today. Usually when it gets that hot, you get a thunder shower or two, but that wasn't the case, and it was really hot and humid, and unfortunately, it looks like we're in for another day like today. They had to be a little disappointed, Ralph. Attendance, only 14,000 people showed up, but it was a Wednesday. It was opening day. I'm sure, obviously, towards the weekend, it'll get a lot busier.
Well, and with that heat, the way it is, the way the heat is up there, you got to remember that, and you obviously remember because you're there, but when I was there, a 79 degrees there is not like a 79 is here because we have the dry heat here. What you got there is humidity that comes into play, and when you get those two combining, and you're going to the races and you're not wearing either your bathing suit or your tank top, it's going to be uncomfortable. The humidity there, it really gets to you.
Yeah, but people that were wearing sports jackets and ties, by the time they got out of the paddock, they needed a shower or two. It was really bad.
It's sauna-like,
It's worse than sauna's dry heat. This was just, you couldn't breathe. It was horrible, but it was what it is.
All right, well,
for the most part, safe racing, and that's what counts.
Yes, they had some great racing there. A lot of emotion around the last race with Miguel winning his first race from his father who passed away 10 days ago. I know that was kind of a bittersweet thing, but it was nice to see. And of course, everyone
was rooting for him down the stretch. He had an opportunity to win, and they just, you don't want that monkey on your back where everyone's watching you every race. When are you going to get it done? And it happened it was the first day, so it was good all around. And congratulations to all of those connections involved.
Yes, and there was some artful work yesterday on the racetrack. Now, your horse, Mama's Gold, got to the half in racehorse time, 47 and change, I think it was. But yet that $115, not the $115 winner, but Velasquez in that last stakes race, the Mount Vernon with spinning colors, he gets to the half in 50 and 33 100 seconds. I mean, what were the other jockeys thinking?
Not only that, Ralph, the turf course is as hard as a rock. So to go that slow, it's like, what were they thinking about it? Sometimes these guys, they get lost out there.
Yes. I don't want to say anything about this colony of jockeys, but what I can say is in the old days, you'd get a guy like Chris McCarron or Eddie Delahousie or the great Bill Shoemaker.
How about P. Val? He's not letting you get to the half in 50.
No, they're not letting you get to the half in 50. That's for sure. Well, P. Val would have he'd have been on the lead at 47.
Would have been in front by 5.
Yeah. So anyhow, that was that was an artful win by John Velasquez, and so was that big $115 winner. He came from the cloud. I mean, you talk about cloudy. He came from the clouds and just dropped in right at the end there What a pick
It
five.
was an amazing thing about that horse, Ralph. He's never been on the turf before, and he was claimed out of his last race, and they pointed him for that spot, and boy, did they make a score on a pretty good claim.
Although the weather might have been a little bit on the sticky side, let's say, it looked like the track and the turf course were in great shape.
They were. No one had any complaints. Obviously, on these days, the track is a little speed favoring, and especially with the heat. Mm-hmm. But, safe racing, and that's all people want.
Jonathan, we got 4 stakes races today at Saratoga. The first 2 early in the card are for the 2-year-olds. The opener, which is set at 9:40 a.m. Pacific time, is the Tremont for 2-year-olds at 5.5 furlongs. Now, I have just checked on the break, and I didn't get any scratches yet. If you did, then you can lay them on.
I have them all. I have them all for you, Ralph.
All right, then as we go through the races, you can give it to us. The Tremont 5 are set to go in there. Any scratches in that one?
No, that race is clean, and good job by Naira, at least running the 5-horse field in the first race, and don't put it in the middle of the card somewhere. The favorites look to be the best. The 3 Mythical from George Delgado and the 5 Romeo from John Robb, they both ran super last out, and those are the horses to beat. You're not going to make any money. You're talking about an 8-5 and a 9-5, respectively.
However, it is the first in the early pick 5, so if you only need to go 2 deep, that's a good thing there. Yeah. And then we'll go to the third race on the card. That is the Astoria for the 2-year-old fillies at 5.5 furlongs. They found one more to go in there. There's 6 in that, and again, as you say, it's good to get these short fields out early, especially now when they have a pick 6 carryover in the last 6 races. But the Astoria sees a field of 6, and you got 2 favorites in there. You got Sassy CW 8-5 and Vernon Valley at 2-1.
And now a field of 5, take out the 5-horse Looks to Kill. And again, both of those fillies ran very well in their first start. You have a horse shipping in from Evangeline Downs. I can't remember the last time I saw an Evangeline Downs ship up to Saratoga, but that's the case with the one. Looks like 2-3-3-2. I mean, unfortunately, these are not good betting races.
The one horse, Varnese, gets the services of Luis Saez. So, yeah. I mean, there must have been a story with this horse to get Saez to get him out on him.
You would think so, but also jocks don't like to sit in the room when they have an opportunity to run an $150,000 stake race. So if they're not riding anything, I guess they'll ride anything. So.
Well, okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. There's not going to be any thought about that then. I guess the favorites do rule in both the 2 early stakes races for 2-year-olds. And then we move all the way to the 7th race. This is scheduled at 5.5 furlongs on the Mellon Turf for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. It is the Intercontinental, where they have 10 in the race before scratches.
Take out the 10, Run for the Hills, who was entered for main track only. She's coming out. The rest of them go. And Miguel Clement should get career win number 2 with number 1, Pandora's Gift. Looks to be tough in this spot.
Do you give any shot at all to Future Is Now, who, by the way, the morning line maker made Future Is Now the 2-1 favorite, but Paco Lopez comes over from him, his multitude of winners down at Monmouth Park to ride this one here at Saratoga today.
Yeah, he's on a few horses today. Obviously, he has a shot. She's a 2-1 second choice. There's another interesting horse in there. Jose D'Angelo sends out the 5, Twirling Queen, who I know they were high on early in her career. She's had some time off, but again, I think the race goes through the 1, Pandora's Gift.
Well, all I can tell you, my man, is don't overlook the 7-horse KRU because Flavian Pratt rides that one. Pratt's always dangerous.
For Sherry DeVoe.
Yeah, for Sherry DeVoe, and she is dangerous too. That's for sure.
Always.
Okay, so Intercontinental's got some intrigue to it as we can play around here and try to get a good payoff in that race. Then we go to the 4th and final stakes race on the day, the Poker, at a mile on the inner turf course for 4-year-olds and up. Do you remember Poker at all, the horse?
Yeah, I remember that he loved an off track. I guess he won on the turf if they weren't naming a stake race after him. But I remember that at least his progeny used to really move up on a wet track.
He was at the time when the great Buckpasser was running, and he used to be an entry with Buckpasser, and he used to be the speed horse
The rabbit. He was the rabbit.
That's
buck
right.
pass.
Yeah, Poker. But he was a nice horse in his own right. Anyhow, the Poker is at a mile on the inner turf course for 4-year-olds and up. It's a field of 10 before scratches. Do you have any?
Take out the 3, Philo D Arena. Take out the 9 and take out the 10 as well. So 3, 9, and 10 come out, leaving a field of 7. Number 2, Intellect. Chad Brown sends out this 4-year-old gelding. Flavian Pratt rides. Listed at 5-1. I don't think you'll get that price. This horse ran super last time out.
Cameo Performance breaking next to him on the rail there is at 3-1. And since Yo Daddy, who is on the morning line, the favorite at 5-2 is out, I would imagine that the 1 will probably be the favorite. But you say you like the 2, Intellect, a lot.
Yeah, but remember, Yo Daddy was the favorite if the race came off the turf. That was for main track only. So a lot of times you see the horses on the MTOs as morning line favorites, but that's really not the case.
Yeah, that would have been if they went on the main track. And, well, unless there's a deluge, I think they're going to stay on the turf. Not for sure, but I'm guessing
it doesn't matter because he's out of the race at this point anyway.
Yes, it does. But it doesn't matter to the others that he wasn't in the race if they do go to the main track. So, in any case, those are the 4 stakes races today. It'll be an interesting card, and it's an interesting card as well because in the pick 6 races, you have an overflow field of 16 in one of them. You've got 10 betting interests in the other. Then you've got 9, and 7 in the Poker, and you've got 13 so far in the late. Well, give me the other late scratches if you have them.
On the whole card?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, second race, take out the 3 shares. The 3, the 4, and the 11 are out of the second.
Okay.
Third race, we gave you the 5. Mm-hmm. Fourth race, take out the 3. The 3. Candacy, I can't see because I scratched them out.
That's
and take
okay.
out,
yes, it's Candacy. Go ahead.
Yeah, and take out 13, 14, 15, and 16 as well.
All right, the also eligibles are out. Fifth race?
Yes. Fifth race, the 1A High End, who was on the AEs, the 2B Bryant and Cooper, who are on the AEs, and take out 11, 12, 13, and 14. So all the AEs are out of the 5th.
All right, 11 on down, plus the 2 in the entry. The 1A and the 2B are out, but the 1 and the 2 do go. And 6th race?
Take out the 1, a part of the entry, Our Liberty Bell. Take out the 3, Ballantine. And the rest of them go, the rest of the field there.
All right, 1 and 3 are out. The 1A does go, representing parimutuel bet 1. 7th race, the 10, right?
Right, take out the 10. The 8th race, 3 late scratches. Take out the 1, Castle Chaos. Take out the 2, Surface to Air. Take out the 9, Wild Vine. 1, 2, 9 out of the 8th.
Okay.
9th race we gave you. 10th and final, take out the 13, Spirit of Hope.
Okay, and there's your late scratches for today and the Belmont Racing Festival at Saratoga. And right now, it looks like the turf courses are going to be firm, and the main tracks.
Everything is good unless the shower comes through. At this point, okay. It is hot and humid, but it's okay.
All right, we'll take some of picks today, buddy.
Okay, let's go to the second race at Saratoga, mile and a 16th on the inner turf, Ralph. And I love the number 1 horse in here, Magnum's Microbert, I guess. I don't know. I wrote through that name too. This horse ran sneaky well last time out when trying the grass for the first time. I love the rider switch to Johnny V. I love the 10-1 on the morning line. We'll probably be shorter now with the scratch of the 4, but I like number 1, Magnum's Microbert, to win today's second race out at Saratoga.
Yeah, you're running your paper over the microphone.
I'm sorry, won't happen again.
All right, you like the 1, Magnum's Microburst. The 1 in the second race is your play, and let's hope it stays close to 10-1. John Velasquez aboard there, the 1 horse in the second. All right, you got something at Churchill for us?
Yeah, go to the second race today. Number 1, Proven Hope, 6-year-old gelding from the Robertino Diodoro barn. This horse cuts back in distance today. I think he's going to love the flat mile. He's listed at 5-1 on the morning line. Christian Torres aboard to ride. Number 1, Proven Hope, wins today's second out at Churchill Downs. By the way, late post time at Churchill.
Right, 2 o'clock post time for the first race at Churchill. This race will go about 2:30 Pacific time. In the second race, you like the 1, Proven Hope. Easy to remember Jonathan Hardun's plays today. They're both in the second races, and they're both number 1s. Second race at Saratoga won. Second race at Churchill, the one. And you've got full sheets of handicapping for the rest of those races, both at Saratoga and at Churchill Downs. Where?
JONHJRDOON.com. Thank you, Ralphie.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. And good work with your horse yesterday. It was fun to watch and was rooting him on. Did a great job.
Thank you. Have a great day. Stay safe and be well.
You too, my man. All right. We're going to come back with Rich Eng standing by. And then, of course, we've got John and Jerry as well. So don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and are struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Ralph.
Well, it was an interesting day yesterday at Saratoga. I know you must have had a smile on your face when Jonathan was talking about how hot and uncomfortable it was at Saratoga, because the times that we went up at Saratoga, it seems that we always hit that big humidity pocket there.
Yeah, I can remember having to go to work every day wearing a suit or a jacket and a tie, and the way the weather was explained by Jonathan is 100% correct. By 10 a.m., you're ready to take a shower, and you're just sweating all day and comfortable. It can get pretty steamy up at Saratoga, but it's still fun.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun, and of course they continue today. Hopefully, we can get where the weather is going to be nice for Saturday, and of course tomorrow, Friday. But we'll hold off on that anyhow. And of course, you have a big, extensive handicapping work that you did for Belmont Stakes Day on Saturday.
Yeah, it is done. I finished it last night, sent it into brisnet.com, and it's available also on the racedaylasvegas.com website. For those who have already purchased it, Ralph, I will send it out this morning after the show, and I'll send it out to you and Jerry and some others. But it's available. It's 8 pages, and I can't wait for the races itself. When you put this much blood, sweat, and tears into a racing car, Ralph, you can't wait to take the rubber band off and actually bet your opinions.
Yep, and we'll wait and see about that. But, there's some interesting racing today at Saratoga. Are you looking at... just for personal consumption, this is Saratoga cards today and tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I've been kind of busy doing different things, but I did catch enough of the races yesterday to see what Jonathan was talking about, where the turf course was playing to speed. I was able to catch that Velasquez horse in the second stakes race where he went wire to wire and 50 and change and 115. I mean, that was highway robbery, Ralph, but I was fortunate enough to land on him.
And you don't want to say too much about the jockeys, but really, does any of them have any sense of timing and pace like the old-fashioned riders used to? But in any case, enough said on that. We're now going to go to maybe a pick for today. Maybe it's Saratoga.
Yeah, let's get a Sirocco play in race number 2, Ralph.
Oh,
Jonathan
okay.
likes the 1, Magnum's Microburst,
Uh-huh.
horse with a lot of speed. I like a horse that's going to be coming from more from off the pace. Number 8, Time Stone, 5-1 in the morning line for Sherry DeVoe. I love betting Sherry DeVoe. She's an outstanding trainer, and when she gets hot, I want to be on her or a gravy chain. But this horse should be closing well under Jose Ortiz. 5-1, a little bit of an underachiever, but this is a slow group, Ralph. Let's go with the 8, Time Stone, race 2.
All right, number 8, Time Stone with Jose Ortiz aboard. I like the mix when I'm trying to do a Sirocco play where I'll have a horse on the lead and a horse that comes from behind, because I don't want my two horses that I have in the Sirocco play both battling for the lead and knocking each other out. So this works out fine for me. You like the 8, Time Stone. This will be the one that closes in the race, the 8 in the second race. And, of course, Jonathan likes the horse that should be on or close to the lead in the 1. So you like the 8 in the second. That's your play for the race day show. The Sirocco play, the exacta box will be the 1-8-8-1 in the second race at Saratoga. And, of course, we'll be waiting for your extensive work for Belmont Stakes Day Saturday. And in the meantime, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it. Our man, Rich Eng there. All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we got John and Jerry yet to go, so don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
This is the best sports betting network.
I would argue it is a total mismatch.
There's value with underdog prices in series.
I would lean to the under here.
My numbers are saying I got to bet the Tigers.
Two-way action. When in doubt, we juice that favorite, that extra nickel.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
Forget about it. The best.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, back to put the finishing touches on this almost Friday, Thursday Race Day show. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow as we ramp it up big time for the two big racing days yet to come and the Belmont Festival of Racing at Saratoga. We're going to go now to Southern California where John Lendo is standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. I'll bet you're having a lot of fun watching and playing the races at Saratoga with those nice big fields.
Oh, it's terrific. You just got a feel of the place yesterday. A little bit of a small crowd, but, for the locals there, a guy like a John Hardun who could walk down to the racetrack and not have to deal with an overflow, it must have been pretty nice.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, of course, it'll get more intense and the crowds are becoming a little bit higher, I know, as the week moves on, that's for sure. Southern California there at Santa Anita, I know we'll be racing 1 week from today. They picked up a Thursday card today. Of course, they don't have one for today. They'll have one next Thursday. But I guess everybody in Southern California is kind of just taking a small breather there and getting ready for the short Los Alamitos meet before we get down to Del Mar.
Right. The turf horses will try and get a race in this week and next week, the last 2 weeks of Santa Anita. And obviously no turf racing at Los Alamitos. And we'll do 3 weeks over there. And then we'll hit the ground running on that Friday, the 18th of July, will be opening day at Del Mar. And, they'll all be locked and loaded, ready to go there. So, kind of the calm before the storm and everybody kind of keeping an eye on the California horses at Saratoga this week.
Yeah, and, even some of the Southern California trainers have a division now at Churchill Downs, as I say. Phil D'Amato and both Peter Urton won races yesterday at Churchill.
Oh, yeah, that's been happening for a while now. Peter Miller's got a barn out there. There's several guys that have some horses out there. Just because there are certain divisions of categories that don't fill in Southern California, and you got these horses in training, you got to run.
John, I know you're doing a Linda report all this week for Saratoga along with Santa Anita. So today you have a full Linda report for Saratoga's racing. And, of course, that includes the selections in each race, a suggested late pick 4, and all the goodie information as well. One comprehensive sheet, but that Linda report is here and only here in the gaming capital at the South Point, and it's free of charge here for horse players because they love horse players here. Anything that you saw yesterday that you'd like to comment on?
Well, as warm as it was yesterday, there wasn't a lot of passing on that main track. When you turn for home, you better be right on top of the leaders if you're going to win. And I have a feeling they probably had trouble keeping that some moisture in that racetrack with that heat. If that happens again today, you might want to look toward horses with tactical speed first on that main track.
And, of course, the turf course looked pretty fair because you had a horse that dawdled along on the lead-in one, and then a horse that came from left field and upset the apple cart with a big payoff in the pick 5 yesterday.
Yeah, and I was surprised it was as firm as it was after all the rain they had last weekend. Whatever drainage system they put in there in that turf course at Saratoga, it worked pretty well.
All right, John, well, taking a look at any of the stakes races, do you have a thought about any one of the 4 stakes races before we get to maybe a pick from you?
Well, as far as the stakes races go, I think the best gambling stakes race is the 7th race, the Intercontinental. That's that turf sprint. And John Hardun mentioned a filly that I like quite a bit, number 5, Twirling Queen. She might go a little bit under the radar because she hasn't been seen for a little while, but she's a very talented filly, and she really tries hard. She's got enough tactical speed to stay close to a fast pace and still finish, and I'm hoping she gets overlooked in this race because I think she's good enough to win.
And her morning line at 8-1 with Luis Saez on it does not hurt. In the 7th race, you take a long look at the 5, Twirling Queen. We'll get your pick now.
With a pick 6 carryover, how about a single in the 10th and final today at Saratoga?
Ooh,
in that 10th race, number 9, Smartest. In his debut at Colonial last summer, was bet down to 3-5, got wiped out at the start, got stuck behind a wall on a walking pace, and flew home last time. The running line doesn't do the horse justice. Training well for the return. I think this horse is well meant. Eclipse Thoroughbreds owns this. They put on their jockey on journalism, Umberto Rispoli here. Anything close to 9-2 is a bet. Number 9, Smartest, race number 10 at Saratoga.
All right, that pick 6 carryover gets right down to the 10th and final race at Saratoga, and John Lendo's pick is the 9, Smartest. We hope he's the fastest as well in the last race. The 9, Smartest is your play from the Lindo Report for the race day listeners at Saratoga today. Don't forget the Lindo Report covering all of Saratoga right here at the South Point Racebook and only here. Hey, thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, good luck today.
You got it, my man. And now we go out to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. And Jerry, I know that you have, I know you must have been excited about getting back to work at Saratoga.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
and the racing was pretty good yesterday.
That's what I was going to ask you. Your thoughts about the opening day there?
Well, I mean, I just thought it was really good racing. And I thought, they're very full fields, and it makes for specific handicapping a little bit more difficult because more things happen on the track, more variables are at play, but it increases the prices, it increases the payouts for you, which makes the game much, much better. And it certainly does a lot of damage to the late money that comes in the machines. It doesn't help them either, so it helps us. And I thought the racing was really good, and I didn't mind any of the results. I can't say that I had a great day with the power page, but that's okay. As long as you get good, honest racing and a lot of horses, you're going to end up with a really good result in the end. So
I concur. And by the way, the CAW money that you're talking about that really does affect the late odds on a lot of pools, I think that New York, at least they used to, cut off a CAW like 3 or 4 minutes to post time. I don't know if they're doing that anymore or not, but it didn't look like whatever they have in place for that particular thing did have any effect really on the odds on any of the horses yesterday.
Yes, that's my understanding. Yes, you're right. But I'm just saying this, you know, finds workarounds and stuff. But the point is, the bigger the fields, the more competitive they are, the less certainty there is in any one aspect. The thing that you can be most certain of is that you're getting an overlay, and you can see it, you can bet it, and when you win, you harvest it. That's basically my idea.
Well, let's harvest a pick today, buddy.
Yeah, my overnight feature play was scratched, so I'm going to do a little bit of an orbital. I'm going to the 7th race, and I was a little late getting on, so I didn't get it into a Sean. So my apologies to Sean there.
Go ahead.
But we're going to go to the 7th race. I have a nice 20-1 in Time to Dazzle.
Thank you.
From Mark Cassie and Tracy Farmer, who's always got really good horses. This is a really nice sprinting filly who they're stretching out again, but they've always believed this horse could go a mile with high quality horses. And I think if she gets the right trip, she could be tough at 20-1 with Javi Castellano up. So I'm going to take a little shot with the 8 horse, Time to Dazzle, to filly, I should say, in race number 7.
Go ahead.
Make a good win place bet here. Go 8 with the 1-2-7, reverse 1-2-7 over the 8. And then I'm going to press back 2-8-8-2.
All right, 7th race, the 8's the key. The link-ups are 1, 2, and 7 and reverse, and then another 2-8-8-2, correct?
Correct. And as I've always told you over the years, and I'll repeat it one last time,
Go ahead.
When you're betting a 20-1 shot, if she's truly 20-1 on the board, you really want to have 2 parts in the place pool and 1 part in the win pool, because 20-1 shots come in second 2 times for every time they win.
Good advice, my man. That's the way to end the show right there. And we will end the show. You have one more thing to say? Say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.